Oh, we're going. All right, boys and germs, welcome to the Daily Crack. That was a clap and a half this morning. Hope you're doing well, and I've got a little bit of shite I want to talk about today when it comes to mental health. It's always a big issue. It's always a topic that I feel gets skirted over but needs to be spoke about even more. Well, listen, it's probably not been skirted over as much anymore, especially with what's going on in the world right now. With all these lockdowns, especially here in Australia, it's very frustrating. People are suffering quite a bit, and mental health is always a big issue. But I'm going to give you a couple of things today that if you are suffering in some way, shape or form with what's going on and you're struggling a little bit in the head, a couple of simple things that you can do that will maybe help you out in what you're going through. Okay, let's get into it. There's no point in fucking hanging around. You're on this video because you wanna get your head straight. All right. First and foremost, to help your mental health, get up in the morning at the same time every morning. Okay, maybe at the moment you're sleeping in a little bit longer than normal. At the moment your wake up time is 11 a.m. Okay, 11 a.m. Make it that. Then over time, try and wake up a little bit earlier, because you can be damn sure if you're falling into this routine of waking up later, you're starting to go to bed later. And this has a kind of this weird knock-on effect where you start to only come alive late at night and you're starting to miss out on the daylight hours. You're not getting sun on your face, because that's why I would want you to wake up earlier, in order to get out and get some sun on your face earlier. So when you're doing that, you're starting to reset your circadian rhythm. And if you reset your circadian rhythm, you start to get better sleep. And that's why getting up early is an important thing. So you actually make use of the daylight hours and you're not becoming so much of a night owl. All right? So that will be my number one thing. Set your time to wake up and get up at that time every day. And if it is something that you're doing at the moment where you're sleeping on later and you're missing a chunk of the morning, start setting your clock for a half an hour earlier and go from 11 to 10:30. Then go from 10:30 to 10. Then over time, maybe in a couple of weeks' time, you'll be getting up at 9 o'clock. And just slowly start working it that way. Likewise, at the end of the day, set your bedtime. At the moment, if you are getting up later, it's going to be very hard to go to bed earlier. So if it is at the moment that you're going to bed at something like 12 or 1 o'clock, well, just aim to go a half an hour earlier. Okay? Now, what ties into going to bed early and waking up early is being on your phone. There's a lot of negative shit going around on social media, and this pandemic has definitely brought out the darker side of people. So my advice would be, get the fuck off the social platforms. Don't be watching the news as much as you would. If you want to check up on different things and find out what the weather is like in Scandinavia, go for your life. But don't get bogged down and caught up in this fucking shitstorm that's going on in the news right now, because there is nothing of value to be listened to. So unplug from the system. And it's very important to know that this external shit that you're being bombarded with, you have control over whether you listen to it or not, or whether you absorb it or not. So it's very easy to turn off your notifications on your phone and not watch the news. If you're being bombarded with this stuff, you can be damn sure it's having an effect on your mental health. Okay, so fucking switch off from that shit. Tune into my videos more often. Giddy up. The next thing you will do after that is start to eat in a way that nourishes your body. Okay? If you start to feed your body in a good way, that will have a knock-on effect for your mental health. Now, as I've said many a time before, if you're creating your own food and trying to make your own food, you don't need to be Gordon Ramsay the first time round. But starting, let's say if you are ordering an Uber Eats or something like that, maybe you can start by making a side salad with it. Or maybe you just order from Uber Eats or the Indian restaurants you're ordering from. Just order the curry or the main meal and cook your own rice. You know, that's a way of starting to get into the rhythm of making your own food with whatever you're ordering. Okay, I definitely always recommend creating some sort of a side salad yourself, because number one, it's a very high volume food with very minimal calories. So that works on the principle of volumetrics. So you're adding in more food into your diet without actually adding many calories at all. Okay, so that would be my main thing. Start feeding yourself and pick hours throughout the day that you will eat. I know so many people that, number one, we either wake up in the morning and just get straight into whatever they're doing. Maybe that's only Netflix, but they maybe get straight into work and don't eat at all. And then they get fucking so bogged down or so engrossed in what they're doing that like several hours go by when they're not eating any food at all. And then they get super hungry in the evening and that's when the snacking kicks in and they eat the shit food and then they feel gross. And maybe they're eating food very high in MSG, so no wonder they can't sleep then when they go to bed. So pick hours throughout the day that are non-negotiable when it comes to you feeding yourself. Okay? And the last thing I'm going to say is exercise. All right? Get out. Get exercising. You don't need to fucking join a gym. You can use your fucking legs to fucking get exercise. Get out, get walking, get moving. It's that fucking easy. Like, I will say there's one massive advantage of, you know, having a gym membership, and that's that distraction and a way of getting away from what you're doing. It can be very hard to motivate yourself at home, to train at home. But if you are that sort of person that likes to lift weights and exercise, I think it's very important to just have that discipline to get out into the shed and just do it. Like, the gym is a great tool and it's a great way of distracting from the rest of the world. But at the moment for us in Australia, it's not an option. So you got to make do whatever you have at home. Now, for those of you that maybe aren't into lifting weights, walking is that best option for you to get out and get some sun on your face. It has so many advantages for you. Number one, you're getting your activity level up. How many people are barely able to get 2,000 steps a day? And the minimum requirement should be 10,000. And 10,000 isn't a huge stretch once you get used to doing it. Before you know it, you should be able to do 20,000. 10,000 steps for an average human is so basic. But if you're getting that on a regular basis, you're eating well, you're getting good sleep, you're not letting the negative shit of the world corrupt your mind, your mental health is going to be in a much better place. So let's not even make this a health and fitness goal. Let's just make this a mental health goal. If you are suffering at the moment, there is a lot of things you have in your control right now that can help you move forward and negotiate through this bullshit. So start acting on it. It starts at home and it starts with you. Get out and about, get out in the sun, get walking, eat well, drink some water, get some good quality sleep. It's that simple. Okay? And it only takes you to do one of those things right now to start making a change. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. No one else's. No, if you're waiting for someone to drag you off the couch or fucking make that food for you or pull you out of bed, they're not coming. They're not coming. So at the moment, your own worst enemy is yourself. But you have a choice. Choose wisely.